Greetings, my glorious epic army. Sorry for the voice, I have a cold going on. But this is your pal Nova coming at you with a Pantheon Rise of the Fallen February newsletter update. This will cover the secrets of game development. There will be an interview with Brad McQuaid that covers nearly every facet of the game, and the atmosphere and artifact system. So buckle up and get ready.
Oh, let's break it down!
Alright, so first up, we get to see what the developers have been up to. On the screen, you'll see some concept art. Our team has been busy working on Project Fairthale, which, if you didn't know, is the next alpha build, which is actually a pre-alpha build. Project Fairthale is visually busy and looking great. They also have blocked off the pre-alpha zone. They also talked about the programming team working on a lot of nagging issues, stuff that needed attention for a while but hasn't been scheduled until now. Shader refactoring, upgrading to the latest version of Unity, fixing up tool functions, and much, much more. This next section is a little bit bigger and is called Behind the Designs, Atmosphere and Artifacts. We're going to talk about the atmosphere and artifact system of this game. He starts off by talking about how much he enjoyed old games like Super Metroid and A Link to the Past, and how much those old games can still influence modern game design. One thing he loves is how they handle inaccessible areas of the world. These areas could be hard for you to reach currently. There would be hidden rooms with labyrinths of darkness. Could be a treasure chest sitting across a chasm too wide for you to jump over at this time, or many other obstacles as we've seen. Now he says we can all agree on one thing. This is cool because you need to find a way across, but if there's only one way across, that sense of accomplishment might be a little static and probably a little weak. It will quickly lose its impact, and with Pantheon, they do not want that to happen. With Pantheon, they want to make the environment matter. One of the ways they're going to make this happen is called the Climate and Acclimation System, which will actually be covered in a later newsletter. However, today we do get to cover the atmospheres, which will present players with unnatural or metaphysical phenomenon compared to climate, which deals with natural phenomena. So, let's look at the atmosphere system just a tad deeper. The atmosphere system presents players with environmental dangers and obstacles that will require specific answers. Here's a short list of possible atmospheres we will see in Pantheon: silencing mists, fog of confusion, gloom, frenetic floor, curse of intangibility, heavy air, and shifting walls. So what we're going to do today is take a deeper look at the gloom atmosphere and how that will affect you as a player. As you can see, this really focuses around undead and affects players negatively, and it actually affects undead NPCs or mobs positively. So how do we fight this particular issue in the game? Well, this is where artifacts come in, or you could just go balls deep and try to beat it on hard mode. But artifacts are legendary rare items players can discover that offer a unique utility. To mitigate the gloom effect we talked about a short while ago, you would need what is called a bone-woven veil. But we have a few other examples of artifacts, and they didn't actually talk about the bone-woven veil at all. So here we have the Shield of Mirrors, which is forged by the Master Smiths of Kadasa. It can reflect light and has a chance to reflect magical attacks when blocking. So I'm guessing this is going to be used in a very light intensive area where you won't be able to see because it'll be blinding you unless you reflect that light. Or maybe you need to reflect light into a cavern of darkness so you can see in the dark. Some cool possibilities here. Next up we have the Skyhold Grappler. This is fashioned by the gnomes of Skyhold to assist in advanced terrain traversement. The Skyhold Grappler can latch onto special surfaces and to pull you towards the target location. Obviously you're trying to jump gaps with this one. Next up, the Ring of Anchors. Infused with the bitterness of dark Mere, the ring was designed to sink the wearer to the deepest reaches of the oceans. But how will we breathe under there, I wonder? Maybe magic? Last up we have the Crest of Illumination. The Iraqi crown was imbued with this powerful resonating light source that can shine through the blackest darkness. I guess that's the one that lights up the dark cave. Alright, to wrap up this section, he just spoke about how there are a lot of MMOs out there, and a lot of upcoming MMOs. Clear and impactful differentiators to set this game apart from the others is very vital to them. They hope that the atmosphere and climate systems can create a game world where the environment looks and feels as captivating as it is treacherous, with the end goal of making Pantheon a game where the environment isn't just visual, it truly matters. The next section we're going to talk about is the Q&A with Brad McQuaid, who is the Chief Creative Officer of Pantheon. I'll just cover the highlights and we'll skip quite a few questions, so the link for the full Q&A is in the description below. A lot of the beginning of the question and answer just talked a lot about philosophy and very basic game design principles, so I'm skipping all that. But we skipped down a little bit to a point where they asked specifically about the combat and the in-combat meditation system which is present in the current state of the game. His answer on this was that yes, they want downtime between battles, but too much downtime and the game becomes more waiting than doing. And basically, if you're playing smart, using your group and using your skills properly, not burning your mana on every fight, the downtime between battles should be short. However, if you're popping all your skills all the time, you are going to be having to wait in between battles. Now, the in-game combat meditation currently is in place, but doing so near an NPC mob will draw large aggro. They expect that maybe a wizard would want to hide in the corner and meditate during battle to regain some mana, but they would have to be very careful about adds and wandering mobs, as their aggro circle is huge at that point. So they're trying to make a system where you as a player can actually gain mana back during battle without having to use potions, but there's a risk reward in that you will have a huge aggro when you do this. Next up, we have a question about how Pantheon is using a lot of the elements of past games, and how do they choose to relive these or revive them, and how do they choose which elements to refine and which ones to improve. And he started explaining that this is a bit tricky, but they are doing an admirable job. The key is to break down and refine core elements that make an MMO like Pantheon work, and through pre-alpha testing have been told the foundation of the game is very fun and very familiar. If this wasn't the case, they were ready to go back and fix the foundation, but they don't want to just make a new old school MMO. They want to push the genre forward at the same time, so they have a list of features, mechanics, and ideas that will make Pantheon have its own identity. They are working hard on a lot of these ideas, and because they built a solid foundation, are able to move quickly and can fix things as they come along. The next question was if there will be a required wait period of real time to advance, to which he answered absolutely not. There will be areas that are locked by quests, or areas accessible to you but very difficult at your current level. What's important is that you won't have downtime waiting for things. You'll be exploring, questing, playing the game, gathering items, doing all sorts of great things that will help progress the game. Next up, he was asked about Alpha and if Project Fairthale is taking away from that. He responded that he can't talk about specific dates as he doesn't want to promise something that might change later if they have development issues. What he did say is Project Fairthale is implementing a lot and is about showing off a game that people will immediately recognize as Pantheon. This will bring them much closer to Alpha 1. The next question was about the feature that he is most looking forward to in Pantheon, and he answered that Pantheon is putting the E back in PvE, killing me excited. He says the perception system is crucial to all this. We covered that in a previous video, I'll link that below. Exploring the world will matter and trigger a lot of aspects of this game. The entire game will matter and not just the end game. There won't be any spots to sit around and power level. You will have to adventure and explore, and you will be rewarded for that. And this system is actually essential. You cannot just sit around. You will have to adventure and explore. OMFG, I think I'm in love. You may only be able to learn skills from an NPC hidden away in a dungeon, and you will be proactively rewarded for just playing the game. This game, I'm getting so excited for this game. With stuff like that, I just can't talk enough about how excited I am to play this game. Next question was about XP bonuses and grouping up. Or is there something to encourage grouping up? And he said it's too early to speak about the specifics here because it's going to actually be tested in alpha and beta, but the general philosophy is that it shouldn't be hard to group up, and as a newbie you shouldn't have to work to find other people. Pantheon will take a proactive role in bringing people together and will reward them for grouping up, but they will not be using a simplistic group finder tool. Next up for you PvP fans, he spoke about alternate rule set servers. Now he spoke about a whole bunch of different ones, but they will launch with a specific PvP server, which will likely be free for all, but they will continue to build on the PvP side as the game grows. They will also continue to make different rule set servers. Some of them can be faction versus faction, race versus race, all kinds of different stuff, fun stuff they're going to play with. However, they're looking to launch a solid PvE experience first and grow from there. Alright boys and girls, that will wrap the Q&A section up. I did leave out quite a few of his questions and answers, so again, please remember, the full Q&A link is listed below. It is a very good read if you're interested in this game. The last part about this newsletter was another Q&A, but this time with a community member named Dorita. She talked about herself and why she's interested in Pantheon. She likes that it'll be a very large, interesting world. Secondly, she hopes for a long, slow grind and doesn't care if it takes a few years to cap. She doesn't want to hit cap in the first week for sure. And thirdly, a challenging environment with consequences. She doesn't want to just run around and not care about dying. Her favorite system in this game, well, is actually the subscription model. She hates free-to-play and especially hates cash shops. Lastly, she was asked if she wanted to be an ocean-dwelling pirate or a traveling trader. And listen here, she totally shut down us pirates and called us criminal scum. Why, Doretta? If I ever see you out on the open waters of the ocean, I will tie you to a weight and, I mean, pirates are nice too, right? Alright boys and girls, that wraps up another Pantheon video, and damn am I even more excited about this game than I was before. It needs to hurry the hell up. Actually, no, don't do that. Make a great game, take your time. We will be here waiting for you. Anyway, back to you my lovely viewers. Thanks for checking us out. And make sure to smash that subscribe button, the thumbs up button, and the bell icon. I have some future Pantheon videos in the works, so stay tuned. Thanks for checking out Less Than Epic, and get good, scrubs.
Hey, it's Radit here. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe as well. It really helps out the channel. We put out multiple new videos each week and we appreciate all of your support. Thanks for watching everyone, and cheers.